Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from Gates Don't Kill Me. Am I the beehole for sleeping in on my girlfriend's birthday? I, a 25-year-old male, have been dating my girlfriend, a 22-year-old female, for about 2 months, and she got extremely upset with me after sleeping in on her birthday. We agreed to have her birthday at my house, inviting all her young college friends. I don't really trust yet, and even her DJ friend came, despite noise concerns. I agreed to it because I wanted her party to be special and she had no other option. I spent 9 hours straight cleaning my house, top to bottom in preparation, and even made edibles for the party. Last week, I had to fly out for 5 days on a business trip. They end up scheduling it on her top of her birthday after I agreed to host it. I fought to rework the entire project schedule, and got multiple other people to change plans just so I could be back in time for the birthday, and then the party the next day. This trip turned out to be one of the most mentally taxing projects of my career. Both flights in and out were red eyes, and the work required me to do everything late at night, as late as 6 a.m. on a few nights. I worked 62 hours and got an average of 4 hours of sleep per night in a 5-day span. One night, I only got 1 hour sleep before working 12 hours. I stayed in sketchy hotels, got an eye infection, and even ran into my bipolar ex that emotionally traumatized me. Needless to say, I was drained mentally and physically. I took the day off after and got back so we can hang out on her actual birthday. She spent the entire week with her mom shopping and hanging out. We never agreed on a specific time or even a plan on what we were doing. I woke up early to a work call to fix one last thing from the project. Said good morning to my girlfriend and we talked about getting coffee at some point. My body just couldn't physically stay awake anymore, and I ended up falling asleep for 3 more hours. Finally I get up and get her some flowers and head to her place and take her for her favorite lunch, see a movie she wanted, get her favorite cake. When I got there, she was extremely upset and crying really hard because I slept too long. When I tried to explain, she dismissed my sleep deprivation because she didn't get good sleep in general and said, "Welcome to my life." She didn't thank me for the flowers, lunch, movie, or cake. Wow, she is equating her little sleep deprivation to you working hours and putting your, destroying yourself mentally and physically. Wow. Alright, back to it. I feel like I've been giving 110% to everything and everyone, and yet I'm still getting yelled at. It brought back feelings of never being good enough and walking on eggshells that my traumatizing ex gave me. She even told me later that negative reinforcement works better? Holy crap, OP, you are not the beehole. You need to not walk but run away from this little goblin. Okay, OP, so you're working your butt off trying to make money and do good, and she's over here throwing a fit because you're a little late to her party, and you still, okay, so you move basically heaven and earth, because I'm pretty sure the job wasn't happy about having to reschedule stuff and, work around your girlfriend's birthday, because if I was your boss, I wouldn't give a rat's arse about your girlfriend's birthday, so you were able to pull that off. You work basically till you become a zombie, breaking yourself mentally, physically, dealing with your horrible ex, and you come back to this little freaking hobgoblin screeching at you because you were a little late, and you showed up with flowers, took her to eat, took her to a movie, you did everything, and she's ungrateful to you because of all that, and then she hits you with, the negative reinforcement works better. OP, that thing is a ghoul. You need to get away from it. It's telling you that it's basically going to be a horrible creature to you, and because it knows it can get away with it and you won't leave her. OP, like I said, do not walk, you run. There is no working this out. It told you that it wants to hurt you. You need to leave, OP. Get away from it. Your life will be better. I know that feeling of walking on eggshells, and I hate that crap. And I make sure to keep that garbage out of my life. You should never have to be around someone like that'll make you feel like that. So, OP, you are not the beehole, but you would be the beehole if you stayed with it. Run, OP. Run. You deserve better. And our next one comes from Confident Hat 4582. Am I the beehole for not getting my stepdaughter a present? I, a 40-year-old female, got married to my ex-husband, James, a 43-year-old male, 3 years ago. He had a daughter, Annabelle, age 13, from a previous marriage. For background purposes, Annabelle has next to no contact with her bio mother. She left when Annabelle was 2, and apart from the occasional birthday card, there is no contact there. I've known Annabelle since she was 9, and we had a good relationship, especially in the absence of a paternal figure in her life. I never had children of my own, and never intended to, but was surprised that I was fine with being in a relationship with someone with a child. James, Annabelle, and I lived together for 4 years in what you could consider the normal nuclear family. However, my relationship with James got more and more strained. We were constantly arguing and bickering about really pointless things. The atmosphere in the house was sour. Annabelle could tell. She became more withdrawn. Eventually, I told James I was leaving because I wasn't happy in the house or the relationship. He was livid, swearing and shouting, saying that he didn't want to see me again. I left and went to live with my sister until I found somewhere on my own. This happened about 3 months ago, and I haven't had any contact with James since then, other than to collect some things from his house. I asked how Annabelle was. He said she was fine, but didn't really expand upon that. However, last week, I received an angry call from James, saying how selfish and immature I had been by not getting Annabelle a birthday present. I knew it was her birthday, but decided not to, and haven't tried maintaining a relationship with her. Because of the tension with James, Jen said how upset she was, and that he couldn't believe I put her relationship issues over a 13-year-old girl who I knew didn't have a mother. I told him he was being ridiculous, and that if he wanted to cut me out of his life completely, that includes his daughter. He said I was a beehole, and a small gift or a card would meant the world to Annabelle, before hanging up the phone. I sent Annabelle a happy birthday text, the day after her birthday, as a call was late, but she hasn't responded. Am I the beehole? Hi, OP. I'm gonna say you're not the beehole. That wasn't, the amicable. God, I can't say it. You know what I mean. You guys didn't have a clean break. It wasn't a simple breakup. This was him blowing up and shouting at you, and I never want to see you again. So yeah, if I were in your shoes, I would assume the same thing. Don't talk to them. Don't go around them. That whole relationship, that's done. And I wouldn't try to contact them either. I think he's trying to do that to like make you feel like crap and just get back at you because he sounds like a terrible person. I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he's crazy because yeah, anybody in the right mind would assume yeah I cannot talk to this little girl anymore because I'm not with her father anymore, and it wasn't a clean break. Personally, if for me, I wouldn't have sent her a happy birthday text at all. Now she's over here ignoring you. OP, you gotta block them and just forget about them because this guy seems like he's gonna escalate things if you try to stay near him in any way, shape, or form. But OP, you are not the behold. You're done with those people. Like I said, block him, be done with it. He is crazy, and he sounds like he might eventually escalate to, getting physical. So stay away from him, OP. And our final one comes from Spill. Am I the beehole for upgrading my birthday gift? I was dating this guy, and I was looking online and saw a camera, and casually mentioned I was going to buy it. He quickly said, "Your birthday is coming up. I'll get it for you." I told him it was expensive, and he didn't have to, but he insisted on it. Shortly after, he brought my birthday gift over with a story about how the salesperson at Best Buy convinced him to buy a different camera because all the influencers use it. I knew this was BS, and the camera he got me was about $400 cheaper than the one I wanted. I thanked him for the gift because either way, it was still a nice camera, but according to him, my thank you wasn't enthusiastic enough. I had planned to take the camera back, returning it and putting the difference with my own money to get the camera I wanted, but he insisted on taking it back because he could tell I didn't really like it. Now my question is, I was talking about the story on a podcast, and my co-host called me a beehole for trying to upgrade the gift. Am I the beehole? This was kind of tricky. I have taken back gifts I don't want, and I've taken the gift card from the store and put my money on top and got things I wanted to. So I guess I can't really throw stones at you. And I'm not gonna blame you, so I'm gonna say you're not the beehole. Because you told him, hey, it's expensive. You don't have to do that. And he was like, I'm gonna do it. And he comes back to you with a story, which honestly might be true, but he probably went, oh, cool, I can use this to get a cheaper camera, or he might have led the guy telling him, to the cheaper camera, because that does happen when you go to Best Buy. It's really annoying when you're just trying to look at cameras, because I have a family member who loves cameras, and hey, you want this one? What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. They'll come over and they'll tell you the dumbest crap, and you can ask them the dumbest questions, and they'll be like, yeah, this has the super gold memory card that, tapes friggin' 20K. They'll lie to get the sale, so I don't trust any of those goobers. But I think your boyfriend might have been like, I'm looking for something cheaper that's kind of like this. And if he couldn't afford it, he should have just not have done it. So I'm going to say you're not the beehole, because yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. Returned it and just paid the difference and got what I wanted. So yeah, I'm going to say you're not the beehole. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.